Hello, welcome to Carol's Books and Storytime. I have a story for you today from my book, which is called Traveller's Tales, which can be bought on Amazon. It's a short story, the book's full of short stories, and it's about when I visited the Punjab in Pakistan. The sun beat down unmercifully on the wide plains of the Punjab. Shade was sparse, but here and there workers rested under the shade of giant trees, whose leaves, deep olive green in colour, were in stark contrast to the ochre fields around. Young girls and older women, heads bowed under heavy loads of wood, water pots, or huge bundles of rice stalks, plied their way from fields and well to the village. There was no sanitation of any kind in the villages, and water had to be brought from the well, at least a mile away. The village houses were built of mud brick, the colour of yellow ochre. Older women sat gossiping on the flat rooftops, and on the doorsteps old men dozed. In the village square next to the dung heap, and in the shade of a massive tree, stood a white horse, harnessed to a shining black tonga, patiently flicking flies from his back with his long tail and shaking his head to get rid of the loathsome little creatures that buzzed around his eyes. Every so often he lifted his front right hoof, as if in pain. Although the Punjab looks dry and barren, 50 metres beneath the surface there is a great underground freshwater sea. The problem is that this great lake has a layer of about 10 metres of bad water, completely unfit to drink. In order to obtain good drinking water, living water, the shaft of a well must go down a long way below the surface of the polluted water. Many charities are involved in helping the people of the Punjab to obtain decent sanitation and good drinking water, and that's why I was here. In this village, I wanted to see the work firsthand. As I wandered about the village dressed in my green shalwar kameez, taking in the various aspects of village life, I realised how lucky I was to live where I live with good sanitation and good health care. This problem of good water, fit to drink, preyed on my mind. The image of the trees, green and healthy above the parched land, stayed with me. About 5 years later, when I was safely back in the UK, but going through a particularly trying time personally, I read in Jeremiah 17, "Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord and has made the Lord his home and confidence. He is like a tree planted along a river bank, with its roots reaching deep into the water, a tree not bothered by the heat, nor worried by the long months of drought. Its leaves stay green, and it goes on producing all its luscious fruit." That's the International Bible. The picture of the village I have described and the trees and the ochre fields flashed into my mind, and with the picture an understanding of this verse, which I will now share with you, and it is in the form of a meditation. Lord, barren is the land I am planted in. Dreary is the landscape. Hot is the sun. Dry is the riverbed I am planted by. They drill holes into my trunk, stick in barbs to hold wires, lop off my branches one by one, even try to set fire to me. My branches are charred and my leaves withered. My head is bowed as the heat of hate and the winds of discontent try to destroy me, try to leave my soul for dead. But my taproot is there, reaching, searching ever deeper into the life-giving water, sucking up the nutrients contained in that living water. Slowly life returns to the charred branches of my life. Not dead branches, just charred. The bark heals over the ugly gashes until only scars remain to remind me of the wounds. Once again, tiny green leaves uncurl on the remaining scarred and battered branches, covering them with purest green, leaves of truth, of gentle words, of encouragement, of love. They cannot wither or die whilst the taproot of my soul reaches down deep into the life-giving stream drawing strength from its ever-flowing purity, for it flows from the throne of the Most High, my Father, God. If you are battle-weary of this life and you feel burnt and scarred by the things which have happened to you, if you feel dead on the inside and wonder what life is all about, then throw yourself at the foot of that other tree, the cross of Jesus. Cry out to him, Jesus, save me. He will say to you, come and sink your taproot deep into my word. Draw your nutrients from my love. You are my child, and I love you. I will never, ever let you go. Okay, well, I hope that has perhaps comforted a few of you. I know that it's something that when I was going through a difficult time in my life, and I still go through difficult times, but this was a particularly difficult time, that was what kept me going. And to a certain extent, it's what keeps me going now. Okay, so take care. And as they say in China, 再见，我的朋友。